This is the Sleep Story Temple, where stories become medicine and ancient wisdom carries you into deep rest. Breathe gently and let us begin tonight's journey. Get comfortable, close your eyes, and allow your breath to become soft and slow. Tonight, we step into the quiet life of a house. Not just walls and furniture, but a living space that answers to light, breath, and intention. Across centuries, Vastu, Shastra, and Feng Shui both asked the same question. How can a home become a place where the body rests, the mind unwinds, and the heart feels quietly held? In this story, your home becomes a gentle companion. We'll walk through the elements, the flow of rooms, and small daily rituals that teach your space to breathe with you. You don't need perfection. You don't need renovation. You only need this moment, this breath, and a willingness to let the house and your spirit soften together into sleep. Night has arrived, and the world has lowered its voice. Screens dim. Street sounds thin. The house you live in begins to hum in a quieter key. You may not notice it at first, but your space has its own heartbeat, its own way of breathing with you. Every doorway, every corner, every object you pass by without looking still speaks to the body, to the mind, to the part of you that longs to rest. Take a slow breath in through the nose. Let it move down toward the belly. Breathe out a little longer than you breathed in. Feel the weight of your body where it lies. Mattress, pillow, blanket, floor. Let them carry you. Tonight, we look at the place that carries you most often, your home. Not as a problem to fix, not as a list of flaws, but as a living mirror. Vastu Shastra in India and Feng Shui in China both listened to houses the way healers listen to pulses. They watched how people slept, how families argued or laughed, how fortunes rose and fell when doors faced certain ways or beds were placed in certain corners. They did not have MRI machines or sleep studies. They had attention. They had centuries. They had the willingness to say, space affects the soul. Your home remembers more than you think. It remembers the days you came back heavy with worry. It remembers the moments of laughter that softened its walls. It remembers how you drop your bag, where you pile your clothes, the direction your eyes go first in the morning. Inhale gently. Exhale slowly. Imagine your home inhaling with you, taking in fresh air through windows and doorways. Imagine it exhaling with you, letting go of what is stale in its corners. A house that breathes is a house that can help you rest. Vastu looks at the earth and the sky. It listens to directions: east where light is born, west where it falls asleep, north and south as quiet pillars. It asks, where should the heart of the house be, so everyone inside feels held, not pushed? Feng Shui listens to flow. It feels the way qi moves, like a river through the rooms. Does it rush through the front door and flee out the back? Does it get stuck in cluttered corners, like water bottled behind a fallen branch? It asks, how can we let the house support life without shouting? Both traditions may sound complex on paper. Mandalas, Bagua maps, formulas. But at their center, they are asking simple questions your body already understands. Do you feel safe where you sleep? Do you feel welcomed when you walk in the door? Do you feel calmer when certain lamps are on and certain objects are out of sight? Notice that. Your nervous system has been practicing Feng Shui and Vastu long before you learned their names. Look around your space in your mind's eye. You do not have to move tonight. Let pictures arise. The entrance, the hallway, the room where you sleep, the corner you avoid. Which parts of your home feel like a long exhale? Which parts feel like a held breath? There is no judgment in the question, only curiosity. You are not being graded. You are being invited to notice what has been quietly shaping your rest. In Vastu, the center of the house is called Brahmasthan, a clear place, often kept open, where energy can pool and bless every room. In many modern homes, this center is piled with shoes, boxes, laundry, or the constant glow of devices. In Feng Shui, the center holds balance for all the life areas: health, relationships, work, journey, and more. When the center is choked, everything feels slightly off, even if you cannot say why. Tonight, you do not need to redesign your floor plan. You do not need to move furniture at midnight. You simply imagine the center of your home as a small, quiet lake. Breath in, smooth. Breath out, clear. Think of one place in your home that might become a little more like that lake. It could be a table that is always crowded, a chair that no one sits in, a patch of wall that holds too many hooks. Do not scold that place. Bless it. See it empty, just for a moment. See an object there that feels peaceful. A stone, a candle, a plant, a favorite book. You are already doing what the masters did. You are letting the house know you are willing to see it and care for it. Homes can hold stories the way closets hold clothes. Old grief, old tension, old versions of you that no longer fit. Vastu and Feng Shui both whisper the same thing. You are allowed to let some of these go. You are allowed to make room for who you are now. Breathe in. I live here now. Breathe out. I may arrange this life to be kind. When you walk through the door each day, your home reflects something back to you. If all you see is chaos, your body hears, life is chaos. If you see even one small corner of order and care, your body hears, there is still island space. I can land here. You do not need a perfect house to rest deeply. You need enough signals of safety and softness for your system to unclench. The traditions give language to those signals. Earth for stability, water for flow, fire for warmth, air for movement, space for ease. Tonight, we are only listening to what your home might be saying back. Maybe it says, I am ready for more light. Maybe it says, I am holding too many old projects. Maybe it says nothing at all, only hums quietly as you breathe. Whatever you hear, let it be gentle. Let it be an invitation, not a command. Inhale through the nose. Exhale a little longer. Feel the bed or mat beneath you as if it were the foundation stone of a temple. Your room is a small sanctuary tonight. 4 walls, 1 body, 1 breath. As you rest, we will explore how the elements and the flow of furniture, doors, and light can turn familiarity into medicine. For now, remember this simple truth. Vastu and Feng Shui are not here to scare you. They are not here to tell you your life is wrong. They are old languages saying, let your home be a friend to your nervous system. Let its shape match the rest you long for. You and your house have been influencing each other for years. Tonight, you begin to do it more consciously, not with guilt, with kindness. The next chapter steps closer to the elements themselves. Earth underfoot, water in bowls and pipes, fire in lamps and stoves, air in every open window, space in every uncluttered corner. For now, simply lie here and let the idea sink in. Your home can learn to breathe with you, and your sleep can deepen as that shared rhythm grows quiet and steady in the dark. Your body is resting. Your home is listening. Now we visit the quiet orchestra inside every room. The 5 elements that Vastu and Feng Shui both lean on like old friends: earth, water, fire, air, space. You do not need to memorize theories. You already know how each one feels. We will simply name what your body recognizes. Begin with earth. Earth is the part of your home that says, you can put your weight here. It lives in solid furniture, thick rugs, stable colors, things that do not wobble when you touch them. Think of where your bed stands. Is there a good, steady headboard behind you? A wall that feels like a mountain? If yes, your body sighs in relief. If no, we will only notice that, not blame it. In Vastu, earth holds the sense of stability. In Feng Shui, it supports the center, health, nourishment, groundedness. Your nervous system calls this feeling safe. Imagine now the heavy things that help you rest: the mattress, the frame, the floor beneath all of it. Feel their weight in your mind. Let your breath drop down and spread like sand, wide and low. You might picture earth colors in your room: soft browns, warm beiges, terracotta, muted greens. Even if these colors are only in 2 or 3 objects, your eyes find them and whisper to your heart, stay. You are held. Take an inhale. Think ground. Take an exhale. Think, I can let go into this. Now water. Water is flow. In your home, it is pipes, sinks, bathrooms, kettles, fountains, even the gentle shimmer of glass. Water can calm or agitate, depending on how it moves. A small, quiet bowl feels different from a rushing tap left open. Feng Shui watches where water is placed: too close to the bed, too loud at the entrance, and your dreams may feel restless. Vastu watches leaks and drips the way a doctor watches a slow pulse. Think of the water points in your home now. Kitchen, bathroom, maybe a plant you water, or a glass always on your nightstand. Imagine them at ease. No leaks, no clutter around drains. A sense of gentleness where water lives. If you like, picture a small, clear bowl of water placed somewhere respectful. Not behind your head while you sleep, but perhaps near a window or on a shelf where light can touch it by day. Water teaches the house to let emotions move, not trapped in corners, not flooding every room, just moving through at a pace where you can breathe with. Inhale, flow, exhale. I let some of this pass. Now fire. Fire in a home is more than flames. It is stoves, candles, lamps, the warm tone of bulbs, even the color red when used with care. Fire gives life, warmth, appetite, courage. But too much, and the heart races. Too little, and the space feels dull, even if the temperature is fine. In Vastu, fire loves the southeast. In Feng Shui, it brightens certain areas of joy, fame, and visibility. For sleep, we ask fire to be gentle, soft lamps, no harsh overhead glare, no aggressive red shouting from walls. Think of the light in your bedroom at night. Is there one lamp you trust? The one that makes the room feel like a small, safe cave. That lamp is your friendly fire. You can imagine it now, even if it is off. If you enjoy candles, see a single flame in your mind, well placed and attended, never left burning without you. Fire is respect. It asks us to be present. At bedtime, it slowly steps back and lets darkness take its gentle turn. Inhale, warmth. Exhale, only as much as I need. Now air. In Vastu, air is movement, breath, prana. In Feng Shui, it rides on wind and qi. In your house, air is every open window, every curtain that lifts, every fan on a low, soft setting. Air is also the fabrics that touch your skin, bedding that breathes, clothes that do not trap too much heat, the way scents travel, cooking, incense, a small drop of essential oil. Think of the last time you opened a window, how the room felt different, even if only for a minute. You gave your home new breath. You told your system, the world is moving. Nothing is stuck forever. Tonight, you might not open a window. You might simply imagine air moving kindly through your rooms, not as a storm, but as a slow tide. Inhale gently. Notice the coolness at the tip of the nose. Exhale slowly. Notice the warmer air leaving. You are exchanging elements with your home without leaving your bed. Finally, space. The element both traditions handle like a sacred secret. Space is not emptiness as punishment. It is emptiness as welcome. The clear table. The shelf with one beloved object. The part of the floor that is not buried. Vastu treats the sky, Akasha, as the vastness that holds every other element. Feng Shui loves good, empty, where qi can gather and move. Your nervous system calls this nothing I have to manage right now. Picture one area of your home with just a little more space. It might not be real yet, only in your imagination. a corner of your bedroom, the top of your nightstand, the area right around your pillow. See it simple, not blank and cold. Simple and kind. Enough room for your eyes to rest without reading a list of demands. Inhale, space. Exhale. I do not need to fill everything. Earth, water, fire, air, space. These 5 are already present where you live. The question is only how much of each and where. You do not need to balance them by rules tonight. You begin by feeling them. Where is your earth? Your one solid piece of furniture that truly supports you. Your rug that quiets footsteps. Where is your water? The sink that needs a little clearing. The glass by your bed that could be replaced fresh. Where is your fire? The warm lamp that says, enough, at night. The screen that feels too hot and bright. Where is your air? The curtain that would like to move. The fan that could hum instead of roar. Where is your space? The area that is asking, may I breathe too? Let these questions float without pressure. Your home will not be transformed in one evening, and it does not have to be. Rest comes from small mercies as much as from big changes. As you lie here, you are already aligning with what these traditions cherish. A home that supports your body so your soul can loosen its grip. The next part of our journey will look at how things are placed. Doors, beds, desks, paths, so that the flow of energy and of your own attention becomes calmer. For now, breathe once more with all 5 elements in mind. Inhale, stable as earth, clear as water, warm as fire, moving as air, open as space. Exhale. I am allowed to live gently inside this house and inside this body tonight. Your breath is slower now. The elements have taken their places around you. Earth steady. Water gentle. Fire soft. Air moving. Space open. Now we listen for something subtler. How things are arranged. How your home guides your steps and your attention without saying a word. Every house has a kind of current. You feel it when you walk in the door. Some spaces rush at you. Some hold you at the threshold. Some feel like a river finding its pace. Tonight, we are not judging. We are learning that flow can be softened by simple human choices. Imagine your front door, not perfectly, just enough to sense it. In Feng Shui, this is the mouth of Qi, where life energy enters. In Vastu, the main door is like the face of the house, the first greeting the world receives. Picture it now. Is there light near it? Is the path to it clear? You do not need to fix anything. Only notice. See the mat as a small, humble guardian. It catches what the day drags in. Shoes, dust, noise. If the area is crowded, imagine it slightly simpler. 1 or 2 hooks, not 10. One small, welcoming object. A plant, a picture, a gentle symbol that says, "You are coming home." When you cross that threshold, what is the first thing your eyes land on? A pile of bags. The back door, lined up straight ahead. Or something that lets you exhale. Homes with doors aligned front to back can feel like they are rushing energy through, never holding it, like a conversation where no one stays to listen. In your mind, you can soften this place in imagination, a rug, a table, a plant, a piece of art somewhere along that straight line to slow the current and invite it to linger. Even if you never move furniture, your awareness begins to live differently. Your body will pause more. Your steps will soften. This, too, is flow. Now, slowly walk inward. Hallways, turns, doorways. Each one is a choice point. Do we rush or do we arrive? Think of your bedroom door. Vastu and Feng Shui both agree on this. The place where you sleep is a critical pool of energy. Not to be crowded, not to be in constant crossfire. In an ideal world, your bed is in command position. You can see the door without lying directly in its path. A solid wall behind your head, like a mountain supporting you. If this is all ready true, feel your body thank you. If not, let the idea rest lightly. There may be gentle ways to move closer to it over time. A shift of angle, a headboard added, a screen that softens a direct line. You might imagine the current of your room the way you imagine a slow stream. You do not want your bed placed where the water would be crashing through. You want it where the water has calmed, where it deepens and rests. Picture your bed now, as if seen from above. Is there space on both sides for 2 people, even if you sleep alone? 2 small tables, 2 soft pools of light. Not for romance alone, but for balance. A feeling that rest is not one-sided. Mirrors are powerful rivers of light. They double what they see. In a bedroom, they can keep the nervous system awake if they reflect you in bed or the door itself. Think of where your mirrors live. Hall, bathroom, wardrobe, maybe opposite the window. If a mirror reflects the bed, and you have felt watched or restless, or as if the room never fully settles, you are not imagining it. The traditions would quietly suggest a curtain, a cloth, a way of letting the mirror rest at night the way you do. In your mind, you might gently cover it now. A soft fabric over the glass. The sense of being observed begins to fade. The room feels more like a cave, less like a shop window. Lights are also part of placement. Overhead lights can feel like midday, even at midnight. A single bright point pressing down on the body. Feng Shui prefers layered light. Low lamps, corners lit gently, shadows allowed. Vastu favors welcoming entrances and calm centers. Think of the light that feels best at this hour. A lamp on a bedside table. A string of warm fairy lights. A shaded fixture. Imagine that light and let all others dim in your mind. Your body leans into that one source and begins to release its guard. Now drift to the kitchen in your imagination. Stove, sink, counters. In Vastu, fire, stove, and water, sink, are balanced with care. Facing each other across a narrow aisle can create a small tug of war. If your stove and sink stand locked in a face-off, you do not have to renovate. A simple referee can soften the tension. A wooden cutting board between them, a plant, an object that speaks of earth or wood. In your mind, place such a buffer there now. Notice how the scene feels calmer, as if the kitchen stops arguing with itself. Bathrooms, with all their drains, sometimes feel like small exits for energy. Vastu and Feng Shui both urge us to keep them clean, closed when not in use, and touched with earth and warmth. Picture yours. Neatly hung towels, maybe a stone on the tank, a plant on the sill, a lid closed, a door that shuts gently. Tiny gestures that say, energy can come back here, not just leave. Return now to a bird's eye view of your entire home. Rooms laid out like puzzle pieces. Imagine a soft, pale light pouring in through the entrance and wandering through each space. Does it move freely? Or does it bump into stacks and piles? Again, no scolding, only noticing. Tomorrow or next week, you might clear one obstacle. Move one piece of furniture so the path from door to room lets you breathe easier. For tonight, it is enough to see your home as a riverbed, furniture as stones, doors as gates, light as flowing water. You are not trying to force a perfect design. You are learning to let the water slow in some places, gather in others, so that when you lie down, you feel supported by something larger than luck. Your bed in command position. Your entrance free enough for welcome. Your mirrors placed where they reflect light, not anxiety. Your lights tuned to warmth instead of interrogation. Small things. But small things are how Qi and prana and the nervous system all agree. Take another slow breath. In through the nose. Out longer through the mouth if that feels good. You do not have to move tonight. You do not have to decide anything. This chapter is about recognition, about seeing that where you put your bed, your desk, your lamp, your mirror, has always been a kind of prayer, a way of asking for the life you want to live. The next chapter will talk about simple rituals that teach your house to breathe with you day by day. For now, rest in the knowledge that your home is not opposing your rest. It is waiting patiently to learn a kinder flow with you. Your home is not only walls and objects, it is a rhythm. That rhythm is shaped slowly by what you do again and again. You do not need grand ceremonies. You do not need rare tools. A few small daily gestures can teach the house to breathe with you and teach your nervous system that this is a place of return. Imagine a simple morning. You wake eventually, not to alarms in this story, but to the soft understanding that a new day is here. In your mind, see yourself walking to a window. You unlatch it, open just enough for fresh air to slip in. Cool, new, unbreathed air. For one moment, you stand there. Inhale gently. Exhale slowly. Let the house inhale with you. This is a ritual already, a tiny contract with the day that says, we will not keep everything stale. We will let what is old move on. Vastu and Feng Shui both honor the first light. They honor facing the day with some kind of greeting. You might turn your body slowly in a circle, noticing the four directions: east, south, west, north. At each quiet turn, one breath, one silent wish. May this day be grounded. May flow be gentle. May warmth be kind. May space stay open. Nothing elaborate, only presence. Now slide to evening. The house has collected things. Shoes shuffled off. Mail dropped. Dishes used. Thoughts scattered. You do not have to fix everything. You choose one small ritual of closure. Maybe it is the 5-item return. Pick up 5 things and put them back where they truly live. A cup to the sink. A book to its shelf. a jacket to its hook, a device to its place, a pen to its pot. As you do this, you are telling the house, we finish what we can. You are not a dumping ground. You are a partner. Perhaps you like sound. Feng Shui often uses bells or chimes to wake up sleepy corners. Imagine you walk slowly from your front door, clockwise, through each room, holding a soft bell. At each doorway, a single, gentle ring. Not sharp, not startling. Just enough to say, this space is noticed. You could do this once a week, or once a month, or only in your imagination tonight. Even hearing it in your mind changes the way your body feels about edges and corners. Scent is another quiet ally. You do not need strong incense if that overwhelms you. You might simmer lemon peels in water for a few minutes in the afternoon. Let the steam carry freshness. You might put one drop of lavender or cedar on a tissue near your pillow, not on the skin, and let the smell suggest rest. Both Vastu and Feng Shui respect what rises into the air. Smoke, steam, fragrance. You can choose those that say, it is safe to soften, instead of those that shout. Light has its own rituals. By day, you invite it in. Curtains open, mirrors angled to bounce it deeper. By night, you reverse the spell. One by one, bright lights go off. One by one, lamps lower. You might have 3 lights in your main room. Ceiling, side lamp, small accent. Your ritual could be, turn off the ceiling first. Let the lamp carry evening. Then, later, only the smallest, warmest light remains. As the bulbs dim, your inner volume drops too. Your system recognizes that nothing loud is expected of you now. You may choose one place to be your quiet altar. This does not need to be religious. It only needs to be sincere. A small table, a shelf, a windowsill. On it, 3 items, something from the earth, a stone, a shell, a plant, something that carries light, a candle, a lamp, a simple picture of warmth, and something that speaks to your heart. A small statue, a photo, a word written on paper. Dusting this place once a week becomes a ritual in itself. You are telling your home, there is a spot here where meaning is remembered. Now, the bedroom. Before sleep, you can teach it that this is the place of closing, not of endless continuation. A small folding of the day. Perhaps you smooth the blanket once. Place a book face down to mark your page. Turn your phone face down and away, or leave it beyond arm's reach. Then one more ritual. Hand on chest, hand on belly. 3 slow breaths On each exhale, you might think, "Nothing more is required of me now." The house hears this too. It learns that bedtime is not for new demands. It is for surrender. Over time, these little acts stack up. Morning windows, evening tidies, light dimming, circle of sound, a handful of chosen smells, a corner of meaning. Vastu would see you honoring directions and elements. Feng Shui would see you tending qi with kindness. Your nervous system sees all of it as one message. I live in a place that cares for me. You do not need to perform every ritual every day. Even one or two, returned to more often than not, change the feeling of the house. Tonight, you are not doing them physically. You are rehearsing them in a gentle, inner way. Letting the house and your heart get used to the idea that life can be lived slower, tidied in small circles, closed with respect. As you drift toward sleep, trust this. Homes respond to attention. They are quiet, patient mirrors. When you treat them as sacred, even in small, imperfect ways, they begin to reflect back the peace you are asking for. The next chapter will tell stories of people whose homes shifted with simple changes like these, and how their sleep, their mood, their sense of being held shifted too. For now, breathe once more as if your whole space were breathing with you. In, gentle, out. A little longer. You and your house are learning a new rhythm. One ritual, one night, one exhale at a time. Your body is softer now. The house around you, even if unchanged, may feel a little more like a companion than a backdrop. To help this feeling root, we will walk through a few homes in story. Not perfect homes, not magazine homes, homes that were a bit tired, a bit tangled, and learned slowly to breathe again. First, a sleepless editor in a small city apartment. Her days were made of screens and deadlines. At night, her bedroom looked like a second office. Laptop on the pillow, papers on the floor, a bright ceiling light that stayed on until she dropped from exhaustion. Her bed faced the door directly. Every time someone walked past, her body flinched, even when she was alone. A mirror on the wall caught the bed at an angle, so she could see herself trying to sleep. One evening, too tired to think, she sat on the floor and just looked. The room did not hate her. It was only confused about its job. With a friend's help, she turned the bed slightly so she could see the door without lying in its direct path. She slid the headboard against a solid wall. She added a low lamp with a warm shade and promised herself no more ceiling light after 9. The mirror stayed, but at night she draped it with a light scarf. The room stopped, watching her. On her nightstand, she put one book she loved and a small bowl with a stone in it. The laptop moved to the desk outside. The first night, nothing magical happened. The second night, she woke only twice. After a week, her body began to believe that the bed was not a meeting table, that the room was on her side. Her home had not grown bigger. Her budget had not grown taller, but flow and light and reflection had quietly changed their roles. Your room can learn new roles too. Now, an anxious family in a narrow house. Everyone came home, rushed. The entry was a battlefield of shoes, school bags, deliveries, coats, half on, half off. The front door opened onto a straight view of the back door. Qi rushed straight through like wind in a tunnel. Even when they sat down, no one felt settled. Voices rose easily. Little things felt big. One day, they decided the house deserved a calmer hello. They cleared the entry first. A simple mat, a small bench, hooks at reachable heights, a basket for shoes. They fixed the squeaky hinge that had been complaining for years. Beside the door, they placed one framed picture that made them all smile. A memory of a day by water. Because front and back doors faced each other in a straight line, they placed a rug between them and a narrow table with a plant and lamp. The direct rush softened. Energy stopped sprinting. It began to visit. They created a small evening ritual. When the first person came home, they turned on the lamp by the plant. A signal that the house had started its gentle shift from doing to being together. Arguments did not vanish. Life stayed complex. But the house no longer shouted at their nervous systems the moment they walked in. It whispered, "You're back. You can land here." Picture your own entry now. Maybe one small change is already waiting in your mind. Next, a student renter in a single room that was bedroom, office, dining room, and storage closet in one. Her bed was pushed into a corner under a window that leaked street light. The desk was crowded. There was no place in the room that felt like off. She told herself there was nothing she could do until she moved. But the room quietly asked for small steps. She began with earth, a rug under the bed to define a sleep island, a simple fabric headboard attached to the wall so her head did not float under glass. She turned the bed just enough to see the door. Not ideal textbook command position, but closer. Her body noticed. She chose one corner as study and another as rest. even though they were only steps apart. On the study side, she kept her backpack, notebooks, lamp with a cooler light. On the rest side, she placed a warm lamp, a plant, a small picture that made her exhale. At night, she created a tiny ritual. She would close the laptop, physically move it to the study side, and then sit on the bed and turn on only the warm lamp. Same room, same size, different river. Her grades did not suddenly leap, but her sleep stopped feeling like collapsing in a storage unit. It began to feel like being received by a small, kind cave. Finally, a grieving parent in a quiet house after a loss. The home was full of echoes, drawers of objects, walls of photos, rooms that used to be full of footsteps, now very still. Every corner hurt. Every item carried a weight. There was no way to tidy the pain away, but there were ways to let the house help carry it. They chose one room, one wall, to be a place of memory. On that wall went the photos and mementos, gathered together instead of spread like constant triggers through every hall. Below it, a small table with a cloth, a candle, a bowl for flowers or stones, a chair. Each evening, they lit the candle. Sometimes they sat. Sometimes they only passed by and touched the table. The rest of the house slowly came back to neutral. Fewer altars in every corridor, less surprise pain around every turn. The grief did not vanish, but it had a place to sit that was honored, contained, blessed. Bit by bit, the other rooms became available for laughter again, for rest, for ordinary life. Your stories are your own. Your house holds them in its own way. You may not be an editor, or a parent, or a student, but somewhere in these lives is a piece of you. The part that is tired, the part that is busy, the part that is healing. As you lie here, know this: homes can learn. Rooms can be reassigned. Corners can change jobs. With just a few choices over time, your space can move closer to the feeling you long for, especially at night. In the next chapter, we will gather simple practices for sleep and balance, a kind checklist, read like a lullaby. For now, let these stories drift through you like soft lanterns on a dark river. You do not need to copy them. You only need to trust that your own house is capable of healing gestures too. One lamp, one corner, one breath at a time. Your body is already quieter. Your home is beginning to feel like an ally. Now we gather everything into a few simple practices, small enough to remember, gentle enough to do on tired nights. Think of this as a soft checklist, not in your hand, but in the air beside you. You choose what fits. You leave what doesn't. Begin with the bedroom. This is the heart of tonight's work. Let the bed be a boat, not a desk, not a dining table, not a storage shelf. Sheets smoothed once, blanket folded back like a calm wave. 1 or 2 pillows, not a mountain fort. If it is possible, give the bed a steady wall behind it. A headboard, or even a firm cushion fixed to the wall. Your spine then knows there is something solid at its back. Check the path from door to bed, clear enough for one slow walk in the dark. No boxes, no shoes, no laundry waiting to be tripped over. Your body hears. It is safe to arrive here, even with eyes half closed. Look at what stands around the bed. 2 small tables, if you can, balanced but not cluttered. 1 lamp each side. Perhaps a book, a glass of water, 1 quiet object you love. Let the surfaces be at least half empty. Space is also medicine. Screens are bright fire. If you can, let them live further from the pillow. If they must stay, lower their light and give them a curfew. Your brain listens to glow even when you think you don't. Air matters too. If you can open a window for a moment before bed, do it. Let the room have one last fresh breath. If not, simply imagine the air changing, as if the day's thoughts are being gently exhaled. Light is a language. Aim for warm, soft lamps at night. No direct overhead glare. 1 main lamp for evening. 1 small, tender light for the last minutes before sleep. Sound can soften or sharpen the edges. If your space is noisy, a fan or white noise can blur the edges of sound into something more like a gentle river. If it is already quiet, let it stay that way. Silence is its own lullaby. Clutter is postponed decisions. You do not need to solve them all. But you might adopt the rule: floor is for feet, bed is for bodies, nightstand is for now. A few things cleared are enough for your body to feel the difference. Once a week, tend to the home the way you would tend to a garden. Fresh sheets, trash out, stove wiped, a mirror cleaned, a plant watered, or a small branch in a glass. Vastu sees you honoring elements. Feng Shui sees you renewing qi. Your heart sees you making room to rest. Before sleep, a tiny sequence can close the day. Return 5 things to their place. Dim the lights to 1. Open the window, if possible, for 3 slow breaths. Lay down. Hand on heart. Hand on belly. and quietly think, "This house and I breathe together. We are allowed to rest now." You do not need all of this at once. Even one piece, done kindly, teaches your home and your body a new story about night. Now that the practices are gathered, we let them blur at the edges and move into blessing. Stay as you are. You do not need to move to receive this. The work of arranging and tending belongs to the day. The work of night is surrender. Feel whatever is supporting you now. Mattress, pillow, blanket. Imagine these as the earth element, steady and unquestioning, holding your weight without complaint. Above you, see the roof of your home as a broad, protective palm, not heavy, not pressing, just sheltering, keeping out what need not enter, letting in only what helps you breathe. Around you, the walls become gentle mountains. They are not fences. They are arms. They say, "Here is a place you do not have to perform." The windows are oft eyes, closed now with curtains, or half-lidded with night outside. They have watched many days arrive and leave. Tonight, they watch over you. Inhale slowly through the nose. Exhale a little longer. If it helps, count quietly. In for 4, out for 6 or 8. Then let the counting drop when it feels like effort. Silence begins to thicken, not as emptiness, but as a kind of presence. The house hums at a lower frequency. Pipes quiet. Appliances rest. Even the clocks seem softer. In this soft dark, we bless the space. May this home be steady as earth, you might think. May it give me a place to land when the world feels unsteady. May this home be clear as water, washing away the grit of the day, holding only what nourishes. May this home be warm as fire, offering light and comfort, never harshness, never glare that burns the eyes. May this home be open as air, breathable, never suffocating, full of small breezes of possibility. May this home be spacious as the sky, with room for rest, room for tears, room for laughter, room for all of who I am. Let your breath move in rhythm with those wishes. You do not have to say them out loud. The house hears them anyway. If worries arrive now, let them sit by the door, like shoes left on a mat. They will be there if needed in the morning. They do not have to lie in the bed with you. If your body aches, offer it a line of kindness. Thank you for getting me through this day. No demand to be different, just gratitude. If you think of people you love, imagine them in their own rooms, under their own roofs, also watched over You might think, may they rest. May I rest. May all tired ones rest tonight. Feel your inhale become lighter. Feel your exhale become longer, like a slow wave receding from the shore. You are not holding the house up. It is holding you. You are not keeping watch alone. The night keeps watch with you until you no longer know where waking ends and sleep begins. Let your thoughts wander if they must. Let them grow softer at the edges. If a fragment of the day returns, bathe it once in the simple phrase, "It is enough for now," and let it float away. You are lying in a house that is learning to breathe with you. You are lying in a body that is allowed, finally, to unwind. There is nothing more to understand tonight. Nothing more to fix. Only this. You are sheltered. You are supported. You are allowed to sleep.